President Trump has now raised the tariffs on Chinese goods to 145%. And China has responded in kinds by increasing the tariffs on US products to 125%. How is this deadlock going to end, and what is the mood in Beijing?
Well, I think the tariff probably escalation has ended now because China already announced they're not going to increase the tariff again. Even if the U.S. increase that, China will not follow that again. So Chinese Minister of Commerce has announced that. This tariff escalation in the past few days is really counterproductive and very against the tide because we are in a globalized world. And the trade is so beneficial to both U.S. and China and for the world. So China is the country of United Nations as a major, one of the largest economy in the world. It has to stand up for some other countries to uphold the justice of the trade and the freedom of the trade. And then China also complains to WTO.
And looking at the bigger picture, what's China's end game in this trade war?
Well, I think it signals a negotiating table there already because China, both MFA spokesperson and Minister of Commerce person spoke yesterday that China's opening door is wide open. The door for talk is wide open. Of course, China doesn't like this kind of bully. As the second largest economy, China has to respond. But China doesn't like this kind of bully, and China still hope that we can have a dialogue, discussion, and communication, consultation to solve the differences.
Right.
Just like we did in the first Trump term. So I think now it's time. After those emotional stage, after those escalation stage, now it's a de-escalation, and we can have a lot of things to talk about. So I think there's many ways we can talk and find a way to calm down and find a solution.
And also, analysts have speculated whether China is actually willing to take it to the notch up by actually selling the US sovereign bonds.
No, I think China is still pretty withhold, still pretty reserved and not escalating so much. Number two, I think China also has a huge card to play, like as you said. China, is only about 800 billion US treasury bills. Basically, China is financing US deficit and doing a lot of good things for the U.S. Furthermore, I think U.S. probably is a bit narrowly focused on this commerce trade, on the goods. And U.S. also, of course, selling the debts to the world. And also U.S. is harvesting all the talents from around the world. Like 30% of AI talents in the U.S. are coming from China. So, there's many fronts U.S. is gaining, and the only thing they don't gain is this manufacturing that the U.S. deliberately get out of that many years ago because they think it was polluting, it was labor intensive, it was not really environmental friendly, and also, the U.S. doesn't want to have that high cost industry. So, there's always a reason for that. So I think now, just because of that, just to launch the trade war against China, against the world, doesn't make sense. So that's why China, I think, responded to some extent. But I still hope that China has said many times they want the dialogue, they want the negotiation, and trade war is benefiting nobody, and we have to come back to the negotiating table.